We're looking at a USA Today article here, everybody. The coronavirus detected on air pollution particles. Preliminary study finds. Should be interesting, so let's give this a read. It's a short article. Italian scientists have found the coronavirus on tiny particles of air pollution, a new preliminary study said. This means the virus could be carried over longer distances, increasing the number of people infected, according to The Guardian. However, researchers warn that the study has not undergone the scientific peer review process. So, the findings must be taken with caution. At the present, no assumptions can be made concerning the correlation between the presence of the virus on particulate matter and the 19 outbreak progression, the study said. Particulate matter are tiny grains of pollution that can be dangerous to human health because they can get deep into our lungs. Those particles, often far smaller than the width of a human hair, are produced by car tailpipes, power plant smokestacks, and burning materials. Air samples were collected at 2 sites in Bergamo province in northern Italy's Lombardy region. The area hit hardest by the pandemic, Weather.com said. Testing found a gene highly specific to the 19 in multiple samples from the province, one of the most polluted in Italy. Despite the notion of caution about the research, study-led author Leonardo Setti of Italy's Bologna University said it's important to determine if the CV might indeed be carried more widely by air pollution. I am a scientist and I am worried when I don't know, he told The Guardian. If we know, we can find a solution. But if we don't know, we can only suffer the consequences. And I would push back and say it hasn't gone through the peer review, like they said there, so I don't know that we can only worry and only suffer the consequences, as he said, because I just want more data. I want more information. I want more studies done. I'm not doubting it in any way, but I'm just saying from my mindset, I want more information before I get to the point of worry and feeling like I'm suffering. The findings are not at all far-fetched. Previous studies have shown that air pollution particles do harbor microbes, and that pollution is likely to have carried the viruses causing bird flu, measles, and foot-and-mouth disease over considerable distances, The Guardian said. Outside experts not involved in the new study say their findings are plausible and should undergo further investigation. And that's what I was saying. I don't doubt it, but I like to see more before I kind of jump to that state of worriedness. Earlier studies have found that people exposed to higher levels of air pollution were more likely to die from the 19, Weather.com said. The study appeared in Med RxiV, which is described as the preprint server for health sciences. Okay. All right. So that's a short article there. Just wanted to kind of, like I said, bring that to your attention if you hadn't seen that. This was something that's kind of like something that's not totally shocking, because the way I always thought about it, this is just the basic mindset from thinking about things, but when it came to the cruise ships, when you had so many people getting infected on the cruise ships, then it was a situation where it was like, okay, well, it couldn't just be being in close quarters with people, say like within a foot or two, and somebody's just speaking to you and they happen to cough or sneeze or something in your presence. I always felt like it had to be something more than that, and that's why in my past videos I always talked about those cruise ships and maybe hotels where people are quarantined, or open quarantine spaces, right? Like auditoriums that we've seen where the individuals were housed there, but there wasn't 4 walls, like there wasn't a top over the structure. That these individuals are all in some kind of enclosed space in some way, and they're all breathing in the same air regardless of what the ventilation system is like. But things happen. People cough, people sneeze, people hack, or whatever they do in these types of places. So you would see on cruise ships specifically a high number of infections based on the number of people that were in there, kind of like the rate. Some of them were 10%, 20%, 30% of the individuals on these cruise liners were getting this thing. So it just made sense that somehow it was being able to be transmitted through larger distances and through the air, even though we did get information, things have kind of progressed as we've gone on. Oh, first it was no human to human. Then, oh, it can't be transmitted in the air. Then it's like, oh, well, 6 feet, keep your distance. Now people are saying 13 feet or just some arbitrary number, but it definitely makes sense. Again, just a quick thing I wanted to bring to your attention. So let's look for the further study. Let's see what happens when it goes through the peer review process, and let's see what comes of it. Like I said, I don't want to get to the point where I'm scared or terrified by this like scientists are, but that's what they do for a living. Like he said, they want to find solutions. So I get it from his perspective. But thanks for watching the video, everybody. Take care.